Hey YouTube, it's been a while. It's been what, about 3 weeks since last we talked? And since then, I had to deliver a load to New York. And the funny thing about it is that it was only a block away from the place I had to deliver to before. But this time, everything went really smooth. And I think the reason is because I learned my lesson from last time, and also not only did I use Google Maps, I used Google Earth, which gave me a better perspective of which area I was going to and what kind of turns I would have to make. And before I forget, I want to give a shout out to Darrell Creighton for suggesting that I do a backing video. That was a good idea and I appreciate it. So thank you, Darrell. Now, also, I recent I didn't recently get this one wheel. I got this one wheel about 3 weeks ago. I got it 3 weeks ago, the last time I was in Joplin, Missouri. But I didn't want to mention it last time since I made a backing video and it didn't seem to be any room to include me receiving my one wheel. It's pretty heavy and it's pretty cool, and I fell off of it already about 3 or 4 times. But it's fun. It's fun. I might add a snippet of it later on in the end of this video, or somewhere in the middle. Who knows? Also, one other thing I wanted to talk about is, as a over-the-road company driver, it seems that for the most part we drive blindly. And what I mean by that is that we drive without really knowing where our next load is going to be picked up or where our next load is going to be going until, we get our next load. So sometimes when friends ask me while I'm waiting for my load to get unloaded from my trailer, they ask me, where are you going, or where I'm at. I could answer where I'm at, but when they ask me where I'm going, I'm like, I don't know. I have yet to say that I'm empty. So, and that gets me to thinking sometimes, why is it that company drivers can't pick their own loads? If you're a safe and reliable company driver, there doesn't seem to be any risk in allowing you to pick your own loads. Like, you've been with the company for maybe 2 years or over a year. Has there never seemed to be an option for a company driver to pick their own loads? And the closest thing for a company driver to pick their own load would be a dedicated account, pretty much, where you always know where you're going. But other than that, the only way you would be able to like pick your own load would be to become an owner operator. That's one of the major perks, what I've seen so far, in being an owner operator, other than getting better pay. So I was looking a little bit in the past, like doing some Google, using Google to see if there was any companies that allowed their company drivers to pick their loads in the past, and I didn't see any. And I didn't really search that heavily, but the light search I didn't come up with any companies that allowed their company drivers to pick their own loads. And looking towards the future, it doesn't seem likely that a company driver will be able to pick their load anytime soon. I just don't really see the risk in it for a company if they allow, safe and reliable company drivers to pick their loads. And when I say reliable, I mean, these company drivers have shown that they deliver their loads on time and consistently. And it will still always be company drivers who won't have a say in the matter, so I don't really see where the difficulty is in allowing, a portion of your company drivers to be able to pick their loads. I guess it's just that would be a good perk, but it's just seems like a fantasy. Like it seems highly unlikely, like that would ever happen. But I could dream, right? I could dream. Other than that, I'm thinking of doing another backing video since I'm at the CFI terminal. If I get my truck during the during the daylight hours, so if I get my truck before the afternoon is out, I might make a blindside backing video. But the thing with that is, I don't know if I really want to, since I'm not really good at blindside backing. But the pros of me trying to do a blindside backing is that I could maybe try to put a camera in the back of a trailer to see if that would give me a better angle and make it easier to blindside back. The cons is I'm not really good at blindside backing, in the first place. But I guess, trying it will also be a good learning experience, to get some more practice in. It's just, who knows? Who knows? I feel that if I do make a blindside backing video, it would take me around 14 minutes just to back the trailer in, if not more. Maybe if I do it, if I do it, and it takes me around 15 or so minutes to do it, I'll just speed it up when I record it, so it goes by faster for the YouTube watchers. I don't know. I don't know. But oh yeah. Before I forget, my truck was rebranded. It no longer says Conway in blue. Now it says CFI in red. I don't know which one I prefer. I guess I prefer CFI. Yeah, let's just say I prefer CFI. Company CFI, and I prefer the CFI sign. It looks cool. Whenever I think of CFI, it reminds me of FBI. Maybe it's because of the I, right? The I. Who knows? If you haven't noticed, I'm in the day's end, and I'm really enjoying using the swivel chair. This is one of those things I missed about, one of the things I missed since I'm an over-road truck driver. I can't seem to put a swivel chair in my truck. It would probably go everywhere, and there's just not a lot of room to swivel with it anyway, unless I put it on the bottom bunk. And then what am I going to do with a swivel chair on the bottom bunk, Other than swivel around with it. Would I be? I think I would be able to swivel around with it on the bottom bunk. But it would take up a lot of room. It would take up a lot of room in the truck. So it's highly unlikely that I'm gonna put a swivel chair in my truck, even though I really enjoy them. They're comfortable and you could just twirl around with them. So yeah. I have nothing else to really talk about at the moment, but I'll probably make a video pretty soon if I get my truck back. If not, I'll talk to you when I talk to you. Talk to y'all later.